Hello my gaming family and welcome to another video. Diablo game series have become synonymous for isometric action RPGs, and fans of this genre constantly looking for games similar to Diablo. As a big fan of both Diablo games and this genre in particular, I played tons of games with Diablo-like words in their description. To be honest with you, a lot of them had nothing in common with Diablo except genre, but I was not very picky. A lot of them are really quality games, and although they don't have literally nothing with Diablo or like Diablo, a lot of them left a strong impression on me. But one game, guys, I can freely say won my heart and maybe, I will dare to admit, overtook Diablo and became my favorite isometric action role-playing game ever. Grim Dawn is an action RPG from 2016, developed and published by Crate Entertainment. Crate Entertainment is an American independent video game developer based in Massachusetts. The company was publicly announced on February 18, 2008 by former members of Iron Lore Entertainment. For all of you that don't know, Iron Lore Studios stands behind one really good action RPG called Titan Quest. After the studio was closed and the new one has been formed, on July 27, 2009, Crate announced that it acquired the license to use Iron Lore's Titan Quest game engine for their new action role-playing game project. On January 21, 2010, Crate announced that the name of their new project would be Grim Dawn. On April 18, 2012, Crate gave an update on the Grim Dawn Kickstarter page, where it revealed that the core of the company consists of only 2 full-time employees, with additional work being provided by former Iron Lore employees when needed. Isn't that really amazing? Anyway, after the strong success of the Kickstarter campaign, Crate Entertainment were able to hire additional staff, several of whom were former employees of the defunct 38 Studios. For all of you who are not informed, 38 Studios is a studio that has a short and turbulent lifespan that ended with huge bankrupt, and they had only one game behind them, Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning. Anyway, this allowed Crate to significantly increase the rate of development, and on May 15, 2013, the Grim Dawn Alpha build was released. On November 5th the same year, the game was released on Steam Early Access, and in June 2015, Crate announced that they hired Eric Saxton, former artist and designer at Blizzard North, stating that his role primarily involved world building and the development of lore. Also, one interesting thing, beside Titan Quest, Iron Lore Entertainment worked on one really interesting title called The Black Legion. Unfortunately, this game never saw the light of day, and we know a very little about it. My best friend and colleague Click4Gameplay managed to contact Arthur Bruno, the CEO of Crate Entertainment, and he was really kind to provide him with some never seen information about Black Legion, which is really amazing, and big thanks to Arthur for that and to C4G for sharing with all of us. The information he got goes like this. After Titan Quest, Iron Lore wanted to try pitching Titan Quest 2 to THQ, and also put together a pitch for essentially the same thing but not called Titan Quest, to present to other publishers. At the time, publishers felt top-down ARPGs were antiquated and PC gaming was dead. THQ had no interest in Titan Quest 2 because of the slow initial sales, at least partly due to lack of US marketing. They told us to come back with something new that was multi-platform and they would consider it. Iron Lore management then gave me free rein to come up with my own game, and the result was Black Legion. It had a tight third-person camera and more action-oriented fighting system with various brutal finishing moves. It could be compared to an Elder Scrolls game, but lighter on the RPG and heavier on combat. You assume the role of a member of the Black Legion, an army of conscripted criminals, political dissidents and outcasts, who were bound with enhanced collars and sent to war in the name of a doomed empire. We also had a prototype for a PvP arena match. It was well received by a number of publishers, but the price tag was significant, in part because Iron Lore wanted to overhaul its existing engine to develop the game. THQ was excited about it and greenlit the project. They sent out the project managers to go over the milestones with us, and then suddenly they dropped the project because they would acquire a big huge games who were also working on a big budget RPG. We scrambled to secure another publishing deal, and it seemed like we got close with Sega, but ultimately Iron Lore ran out of money before they could close the deal and made the ethical choice to shutter the studio while they still had money to pay severance. Who knows though, maybe we will resurrect Black Legion someday. Again, big thanks to Arthur for providing us with this information, and huge thanks to C4G for sharing this info with us. Anyway, when it comes to the story, now we all know that when it comes to this type of games, almost no one cares about the story, but for all of you that are interested and want to know, the game takes place in Cairn, a dark, war-torn world where a once proud empire has been brought to ruin and the human race driven to the edge of extinction. Cairn has become a ground zero of an eternal war between two otherworldly powers, the Ethereals, who view human bodies as a resource to use, and the Chthonians, who are intent on destroying humanity before that can happen. Actually, the story is pretty good if you want to follow it, but guys, you are here for grinding, not for the story. Just kidding. So, at the beginning of the game, your character was possessed by an ethereal spirit, and just a moment before you got hanged by people from Devil's Crossing, one of the main places in the game, the spirit left your body and you survived. You immediately start the game by collecting few starting quests, and you are free to go and explore everything. The story and the whole game is divided into chapters, and every chapter takes place in a different huge zone with tons of interesting locations. If you're interested in the story and lore of the game in particular, you are free to follow main quest, and one really interesting thing is that you will be able to find notes all over the world that besides revealing some parts of the story, will give you experience by reading them. What is especially really cool for me is that I managed to finish tons of quests just by exploring. Quests like killing some monsters, collecting some things, and later, when I actually take those quests from NPCs, I instantly finished them and got tons of experience and rewards. That is a really cool feature, especially for side quests. You can wander around, see some enemy, kill it, and later find out that some quest is bound to it. Simply amazing. Also, I need to mention the importance of decisions, and it seems Great Entertainment put a lot of importance on choices. Besides some quests in which you will have some moral dilemma and you will need to choose between, for example, two persons that will somehow affect your gameplay or some segment of it later in the game, there are some core decisions you will need to make that will definitely affect the whole game. Factions are a big part of this game, and there are many different factions you will interact with in Grim Dawn. You will decrease reputation with faction by killing its members, but on the other side you will simultaneously increase reputation with some of the friendly factions. In both main game and both DLCs, you will have the opportunity to make a really important decisions related to factions that will have a huge impact on your gameplay. When I mention gameplay, like in all games, besides story, the most important segment of a game is gameplay, of course. Although when it comes to Grim Dawn, you all know that the gameplay is much more important, and this time guys, I'm not joking. The character creation at the beginning of the game is really poor. Actually, besides gender choosing and typing your name, you don't have other options to customize your character, but honestly, you don't need them. First of all, the game is fast, with tons of effects and you have cool helmets. Plus, it's isometric view and you actually can see the face of your character. So why bothering over customization, right? Jokes on the side, the game possesses tons, literally tons of awesome looking armor sets, items and weapons, and your character will look super cool wearing some of them. Also, items are actually the main thing in the game if you ask me, and the whole game revolves around grinding like in all Diablo Like games. I like this type of games. Actually, I love them. Whenever I don't know what to play or I just want something so I can relax, I play Grim Dawn. The repetitive gameplay is, let's say, a trademark of this type of games, but in Grim Dawn you actually can't get bored so quickly. First of all, the enemy variety is really big, and you will encounter dozens of different enemies throughout your journey. Second, although it's repetitive, the combat in Grim Dawn looks really good. Of course it's not the best Diablo-like game, there is others, newer ones that done some things better, but the combat in Grim Dawn, although with some not that good animations, especially melee ones, thanks to look of abilities and their visual effects, all the colors and sounds, looks and feels really good and satisfying. This game is not just going around and smash everything you come across. Actually, the depth of gameplay is really impressive in Grim Dawn. First of all, the items. Although you will constantly grind for better gear, Create did some excellent job beside putting tons of items in the game and dividing them into levels. Actually, sometimes some green item can be more useful and effective than some blue item, for example. Sometimes you can find the same item but with suffix or prefix that can give you some extra stats or active ability, and that besides its green can be really useful and can greatly affect your gameplay. You don't start the game by picking your class. You will be able to do that on level 2 and level 10. Now, what is really interesting here is that by picking two different classes, you actually create a new unique one. And that, my friends, is so awesome and will make you replay this game at least a couple of times. There are 9 different classes you will be offered to choose in Green Dawn: Soldier, Demolitionist, Oculist, Nightblade, Arcanist, Shaman, Inquisitor, Necromancer and Oathkeeper. Beside them, there are 72 different combinations of those classes, including classes from DLCs as well. I haven't tried them all, of course, but of the ones I tried, my favorite is Warder, a combination of Warrior and Shaman. If that is not enough for you guys, there are 82 constellations, which add another level of depth to gameplay. Besides skill points you get while leveling, you also get devotion points that can be spent to unlock certain stars in constellation. Each star provides a passive bonus which can include attributes, damage, resistances and others. Completing a constellation grants an affinity bonus, which is then used to unlock higher level constellations. The game possesses a couple of different difficulties, and you unlock new difficulty after beating the game on current one. I need to mention that I'm not that hardcore gamer and I play the game on normal difficulty only. There is also a veteran difficulty that you can turn on when you play on normal difficulty if you want a greater challenge in the beginning and more experience, of course. Beside those 3 difficulties, and besides grinding reputation and killing nemesis in the game, you also have roguelike dungeons in which if you die, you must create another key, which is not that easy at all. You also have Shattered Realms, which is another endgame mode included in Forgotten Gods expansion, and there is also Crucible DLC that includes the classic horror modes. Considering grinding is the main thing in this game, you will often find some really cool items, but not for your character. Wrong class, my friend. The good thing here is the Shed Stash, which allow you to transfer items from one character to another. Also, the transport system is another great feature in this game, and in every game that have this feature actually. This system will allow you to apply different look of the gear on your currently equipped one. And I love that. I find better item, but I don't like its look. I will simply change it. The Grim Dawn have 3 DLCs, Ashes of Malmut, Forgotten Gods and Crucible. The Crucible DLC actually don't expand the story, it just adds a new game mode featuring arena-based play around waves of enemies. Graphically, this game looks really nice. Some of you may not like it, but I do honestly. The ambience and atmosphere, from spooky graveyards to green forests, misty swamps and even deserts, combined with really nice background music, animations and effects, the overall visual look of the game is really nice. The color palette is pretty decent and the whole game looks like a combination of couple different art styles that are perfectly blended in a single game. It seems that the developers put a lot of effort in making this game, and all I can say is good job guys, thank you for providing us with such a good game. Also, I need to mention that even it's a game from 2016, Grim Dawn still keeps getting updates and it's great to know that the developer is still working on improving this game. And that will be it for this video guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, then like would be super appreciated so this video can reach more people. Don't forget to subscribe, and in case you want to support this channel in the long run, consider becoming a Patreon. If you like, of course. All the links are in the description. And as always fam, until next time, see ya and stay cool.